Hello, everybody. This is Living with the Darkness, the Rage Across New York. Today, not Rage Across New York yet. It's also Changing and Dreaming. Today, we have a scene at one of the coffee shops in Manhattan. Our scene begins with William, who is in a coffee shop, waiting for someone to arrive with coffees ready already.
Okay, and yeah, Robin has got an invitation on text asking if she would like to do a coffee. And I mean, she's tired, but she's like, why not? It would probably be fun, right? So she'll put on some extra makeup to basically hide like the bags on her eyes, and we'll head towards the coffee shop. She'll look around until she spots William. Then will raise her hand when she sees him.
William will raise his hand as well, and I need to roll Nightmares because now we have a plot in Nightmares.
I know.
And if I botch, I will
Oh
believe
boy.
that my character is High King William Black Abdul. So that's gonna be weird.
I really hope you're not botching.
Me too. Extra dice shoulder one. I failed. So I am tired as well today. As he like raises his hand slowly and nods, and gets up and extends a hand.
Yeah, Robin will shake the hand. Hey,
Hi.
uh,
It's been a couple days, a couple weeks, and it was a nice talk today. It was a nice day we had a talk, so I just thought that maybe I could invite you again for a coffee.
yeah, I mean, I never turn down a coffee, ever.
I might use that in the future. He kind of smiles and. Hmm.
Okay, I'll be honest. I'll. It would be something would be very seriously something very serious should be happening. Should I decline a coffee?
Okay, that's good to know. Please. Um, he, you know, one of the seats is empty, and he extends his hand.
Yep, Robin will sit down.
Well, I was going to order one for it to be ready, but I didn't want to assume which one you would like because last time you bought like 6 or 7 different coffees. So,
So, what do you presume I would like as a coffee then?
oh, see, I am like the worst in coffee. So like the coffees I know is Nescafe and Turkish coffee. Like that stops right there.
Lol.
I
So
know I know Nescafe Gold, I think.
that's like instant coffee. Ew.
Yes. So like maybe like would there be a role for this? Like
I mean, if you want to, you can just roll. I don't know to remember, because the funny thing was she bought like six or something of the same coffee, but from different coffee shops.
okay.
So you would probably remember it. So I guess just an either intelligence or wits. I don't know
I
to
think it's
remember.
intelligence alertness.
Okay.
I have 3 successes.
She bought only latte macchiatos.
Okay. And he kind of like he like closes one of his eyes and then he says latte macchiato. I am such a good at this. But like I didn't again want to assume what would you want to drink today?
I would love. Actually, a latte macchiato, but with a double espresso shot in it.
Okay. He kind of like invites one of the guys who kind of promptly arrives with hesitantly, and he says, "I will take cafe macchiato with two espresso shots in it, and we will have two of them. Yeah. Thank you. That and he kind of looks like that guy left very fast. Am I that?
Robin drugs.
He's like, am I that scary? Like, this, is it scars?
I don't know. You look kind of rough.
Well, yeah, people says that, but scars happens, and it's not something you
I don't.
control.
I don't think it's a bad thing per se, but I can imagine someone like that guy might be a little scared of that.
Well, it's his choice, I guess. So how you have been?
Oh, but I've been fine. I've been busy, work and such.
This is a weird town.
What makes you say that?
I saw a zeppelin fall down to Staten Island.
I've heard about that. It's pretty intense.
They're like, this is just very weird. I don't even know what to say about that.
I guess it was a promo stunt gone wrong or something,
Probably.
Like Zeppelins aren't really used nowadays, but
Yeah.
they do make a big appearance in the sky, so I guess some company must have rented one and
Like,
messed up.
your explanation is the best explanation I have ever got right now.
It's really the only thing I can come up with.
Um, yeah, you're right.
I mean, have you heard other things about it then?
I like what I heard was, um, the Staten Island is usually seen as the back door of like New York. So
Mm-hmm.
like, yeah, someone wanted to end all the crimes, so they decided to do that. Or
What
like,
was happening?
I think it was Twitter.
I mean,
He
I,
smiles, but he's just like, it was Twitter.
I think there are more productive ways of, fighting crime than plunging a zeppelin on like,
Innocent people.
yeah.
Yeah. How would you stop crime? Is he like says,
Uh,
if you're not gonna put a zeppelin down to Staten Island, like how are you gonna stop it?
um, I mean, I have a cousin who's in the police force, so um,
Wait,
mm,
that guy that put everybody on bars, behind bars? Yeah, I heard your surname before. Yeah, that's from there.
I mean, I guess.
Yeah, he puts a lot of people behind. Like, yeah, I'm kind of like a fanboy for him. He's a good guy. He's like a good cop, the good boy of NIPD, New York Police Department. Like
Good
he is.
boy. You make him sound like a dog.
I mean, I'm like, no, I'm sorry for that, but like, it's just like
No, no.
he is like kind of a, like that guy who fights with crime everywhere.
Yeah, I mean that's what
You're
he likes to say. No, no, that's rude. He does a lot of good work, definitely.
He's like friendly neighborhood, Jacob Clay.
I will buy him a leotard, I guess. um,
Hmm? Hmm. Um, yeah, I read a lot of newspaper, so just he does good stuff. Happy to hear, like that.
yeah, I mean he does. I think I guess all cops would do something like that.
Well, he put cops behind bars as well.
Yeah, yeah, that's true. It's, so I mean, yeah, I guess increasing funding to like police to that sounds like a way to solve crime, but I think it also, I mean, being almost a psychologist, I mean, one can wonder why there is so much crime and focus on that. Like, there must be a reason. Like, people don't naturally want to be criminals. Like, that's not like a career choice or something. No 4-year-old kid will be like, when I grow up, I want to be a drugs dealer, or a runner for a mob, or something like that. Like, that's not a career choice that someone makes. So it's has to do with there are reasons behind the crime other than just locking people up and away. I think we should focus on those problems and see what's going wrong in the neighborhoods where there is a lot of crime and how we can tackle that.
I agree. I think in poverty and depression, there's a lot of things that breeds,
Hmm.
like corruption. The A lot of individuals finds solution in gangsters, which is really sad. While they should find their solutions in education.
Yeah, but if you don't have money for education,
Yeah, you go
no,
for gangsters.
and your friends are going certain ways and you want to join them, and yeah, no, I mean I agree it would be nice to be able to give people like proper education, but that means that you need to put more money in the education systems as well. And I think education would also might also help if you would put education in like a prison program or something, because a lot of people, once they're in prison, even if it's like for something, you know really small, often when you go into a prison, you come out and you're more inclined to actually fall into a life of crime than you were before, because of the contacts that you get in prison and because of the way prison life is. So usually prison is actually not that good when it comes to making people find the right path again. However, if you would offer educational programs in a prison, maybe that will be a way to help people who are willing to actually build up a life once they're free again.
So there is a person I listen to the radio.
Hmm.
And she's kind of when it comes to this kind of stuff, she's a bit radical. But I agree with you that the those people, like there should be an educational program in these stuff because I have seen prison, not being inside, but I like seeing people who entered prison because they throw rocket cops
Hmm.
and they wanted to look after those people who were alone in the prison. Um, so from my the way I stand in the part of the political groups that I look around, they mostly minorities, they see police as an oppressive force, and they
Yeah.
see this oppressive force as continuation of pardon, they see the prison as a continuation of this oppressive force.
Hmm.
They say that the police and the if you go against the law, you go to prison is oppressive. They even say that they're direct descendants of slave patrollers.
Hmm.
Um, the reason is that it's because the slave patrollers wanted to put you in a place where you can't say yes or no to the certain things, and you were unquestionably put in a position that goes with the law as well. Which is, I know there's a differences between those two, in my opinion. That's not that connected, but like I know that there are people who sees it this way as well.
Hmm.
So now, I think the world has come to a very different place. It used to be where people were, when they create countries. We look at the history of countries like 4th of July. We talk about how it's about freedom, but we forget about the uh, the minorities who suffered from 4th what 4th of July meant and after. A lot of people were screaming for freedom, but then they disagreed in what freedom means. and they fought each other. So the Civil War happened.
Mhm.
And now I believe there's a lot of individuals who profits from gangsters, from mafia, from things that happens in depression and poverty. I just have this life view where if you are up top somewhere, there's always people below you. You don't get rich so easily.
No, but those who are below you usually can count on some form of protection from you.
Yes,
It's
like.
usually a system that's like opposing the police because, like you said, they think it's corrupt. So they enter a system of their own where they offer protection to each other against this corrupt system. And in all honesty, I'm not quite sure if they're wrong. I mean, I'm not saying that the entire police force is corrupt, but
Mhm.
I mean, if you look at police force, it's still predominantly white. Um, like that, there is still a prejudice against minorities, and that's not necessarily. That's just a system that's being held in place. I
Mhm.
don't. I'm not even sure if it's consciously held in place. Perhaps by some people, but not by all. I don't believe that's by all. But it's still being held in place, and therefore the opposite side is also held in place. Because yeah, if you don't trust the police because they will judge you more harshly than they judge like your neighbors or like people living in the next block or in the next area, of course you will look for something that can protect you, which is something that a lot of crime lords, I guess, can get into.
Um, Harlem used to be a very different place, as you know probably, and there's still people who actually defend those lords or whatever they are because they used to give them education and freedom in a way that the police or the law couldn't give them.
Hmm.
Um, I don't know. This I try to not think black and white, but I always think black and white sometimes, like most of the time at least. I know the world is not black and white. I know there are gray areas, but to hear people say that the associating yourself in the police institution, you're a class traitor and deserve nothing short of walls, is just too much for me at least. Those people who I talk says this. If you're a cop, you can go to hell. Or all cops are pigs.
Hmm.
That's not nice in my opinion. There are people like your cousin who tries to work in a system to make a system better, because we know system is not perfect.
Yeah, sorry. Of course they are. Like, it's the same as that a lot of like suburban citizens look at people who live in like the ghetto and are like they're all stupid and like uh they're all gangsters and they don't want to learn. They just want to live this life of crime. It has a lot to do with superstition, with prejudice, and
Religion.
the thing is, the worst thing about prejudice is that it's really hard to get over because you'll have to experience it for yourself.
You're right.
It's something not a lot of people would do. Like, yeah,
I
it's easier to confirm a prejudice than to go against it and prove it wrong.
I have a lot of friends overseas. Like I call them friends. It's like people I met online,
Hmm.
and we talk about certain problems. For example, there's a guy in Syria who lives the best part in Syria at the moment. The war never came to him, but he knows how his world changed.
Hmm.
What you want later? My lighter is here. As he.
Oh, I don't think you can smoke indoors.
Oh, yeah, that's bad.
And we could just
Okay.
say that we're on like a
Yeah.
like outside.
Okay. Oh, see. Okay, no problem.
Mhm.
Any lights if she is smoking? I don't know if she does smoke or not.
Apparently now she does.
Yeah, it seems that she
I
does.
don't think Robin has ever touched a cigarette in her life, but hey.
Okay, maybe the topic just made her uncomfortable, and she just needed some
There's
light
a
to
candle
cigarette.
on the table and she tries to light it.
Hmm. Um, he says my friend tells me that the worst problem that he faces right now is he doesn't know who to trust because there's a lot of fear among individuals.
Yeah.
Um, if you're from this terrorist group or that terrorist group or from the government forces and all that jazz. And the worst thing he says, it's war, it's ugly, and I know nobody is right. Like nobody is innocent because it's war. I
Hmm.
think this internationalization of the world, becoming so close with everybody, is also reducing those things we didn't see usually. We look at the
Yeah.
Twitter, Instagram, all those places. You will see if you go places in that websites, you will see there are people who just shots kids and like kills them. Like in Africa, there are people. There are like slavery still going on,
Yeah.
and it's just I don't know. Maybe I know the world was always like this. It's just now we can see it, and the worst part is people usually ignores those kind of stuff.
I think it's also
Living
because people have a lot of problems of their own. You can't look at someone else's problems if you're struggling to get by day.
true. Um, I have a friend who I met in a bar, and he is very nice. Actually, we talk a lot, but he strongly believes in Christianity, and he thinks most people, like liberal people, are just gonna go to hell. Um, so he is kind of, like one of those superstitious people,
Hmm.
and like he will never vote for liberals. Even I defend him, and I tell him tons of times what he wants is actually more with liberals. He just says no, they don't believe in God. It's a bit kind of weird of him, but yeah, there are people like this as well.
Yeah, some people just don't want to see. Like I said, it's prejudice, and it's always easier to confirm a prejudice. Like you can go to like the ghetto, you can go there, um, and you can point out, see, all these people, they don't try to get out, they don't try to make a better life because there's a lot of crime here. So obviously, but there are lots of people who are trying, but you can't see it unless you know.
True.
To confirm something like that, it's really easy, but to waylay it, to make sure people open their eyes, that's hard. It's really hard. It's one of the
True.
most difficult things to do, I believe.
It's so. What do you want to do? For example, I think everybody. I think everybody. Like this is what I believe, and if I'm wrong, maybe I'm wrong, but whatever. I think everybody wants to change the world in some weird way. I think everybody wants something different. So don't, if you
Mm,
don't mind me asking, what do you want?
what do I want? I mean, ultimately, like you say, I want to make the world a better place, but better is always subjective because it's your form of better, not someone else's form of better.
True.
Everyone has their own form. Um,
What
so
kind
what
of
would
better?
I want? I would want people to be a bit more mindful about what they're doing, a bit more reflective on their actions. Um, I want to solve arguments. I want to, you know, get groups of people to work together, even though they might at first not be inclined to do so because of things happening in the past. And I just want to protect those that I care about.
Hmm. You know, it's so. How do you think you can do this?
God, I don't know.
What is stopping you from doing those things?
Not. I am doing it. I'm trying to do it. Talking to different groups of people, trying to get them back together and to trust each other.
I go to a lot of as I said before, minority groups and like try to give them motivational speeches.
Hmm.
I try to give them hope as best as I can.
I think I work more on a personal base, you know? I'm not going to groups or anything, but just people, people that I meet.
No, you're right, but I also talk. Like I don't make speeches. I just talk with them one by one. Every time I see someone who looks kind of down, every time this happens, because not everybody having a bad day. Some people just use arguments that they don't even usually give because life is just hard. It's hard to see the door that leads to some other places when you are extremely hopeless.
Yeah,
So I try to give them those things. I try to show them doors, and it works time to time. Sometimes it doesn't, but sometimes it does.
I think that's cool.
Thank you. I think it's cool as well. Kind of finishes his coffee. This coffee was amazing. I like this place.
Yeah, the double espresso shot does, you know, help to keep you awake.
I have to say, I checked like the internet 3 times to make sure I, you know, invite you to a place that is actually good, gives good coffee because I know you tried like 6 of them last time.
Well, you're right. This place is good.
Thank you. So are you decided that are you going back to the college?
I don't know. I really don't know yet. It's like uh, I've got some time to think about it still. I might not, or try and finish it like online.
He shrugs. Your job. Your choice. I
Yeah.
didn't still didn't decide what college I should enter. I didn't finish anything, as I told you.
Hmm. It's like education is good. It's really good and it's really important. And it's just that I don't think after what I learned here, I can I can so easily go back to Washington. I think I would prefer to stay here.
It's I kind of think the same actually. After what I saw here, how the world is reacting to everything, zeppelins falling down, people dying on streets,
Hmm.
losing friends, all that jazz.
I'm sorry.
Thank you. It's my friend died in a wedding.
A wedding even. Wow.
Yeah, it was a friend's wedding, and then we had this the chromatic dragon explode.
What? Exploded?
Chromatic dragon was a movie thing. It was on the news.
Okay. Oh. I've not been able to follow up. Like, I've been so busy with other stuff that following the news on a regular basis for a while was not a thing that I could really do.
He like cocks his head to the side because like she says like like she is busy, but she never says what she is busy with.
Mm,
And he get it like for the third time, I guess. And he doesn't say anything. He just cocks his head to the side and he nods.
I went to went to one of those programs that, for like a couple of months you're like really disconnected from the world and you're just learning.
Why you want to like be? Like, why you prefer that? I don't understand those things actually.
Well, I found myself at a place where I just felt that I needed to have some time to myself,
You know,
some
it's
introspection. A different way of learning things, I guess, is the best way to describe it. It was worth it, and I learned a lot, and it formed me more than I expected that it would. But it did mean that I was out of society for a while. So some of the things that happened, like actually when we met, that was like in the first week that I got back from that. So a lot of things that were on the news, either I read them like sometimes even a couple of days afterwards, or I didn't get to read them at all.
it's in smiles. So what was the thing that like you said, I needed an introspect in the way to look at yourself,
Hmm.
silence, and
Yeah,
are you better now?
I would say so. At least I've grown accustomed to some of the changes that you all go through sometimes.
Change is good.
Yeah, of course.
He
But
smiles and she says, "Of course."
it's still something that sometimes you need to take some time to get used to.
That's true. Let me ask you a question. This is a weird one.
Sure, ask away.
I see these weird dreams sometimes after I go back to after I come back from the my usual trying to make people hopeful.
Mhm.
Let's say you have a way to change the world, as we talked a lot about changing the world today,
Mhm.
and you wish to change the world, and you know the world is a bad place at the moment. But imagine if someone claims there's a balance to the world, to your face, after you talk about the corruption, after you talk about the individuals acting the way they shouldn't act, or how human society actually, wants to be, like the kids, they want to be something, and then they just turn into gangsters. It was my father who actually said, I he was a sailor, okay, and pardon, he was a captain of a ship, and he had a lot of friends all over the ports. All these friends had small kids. I was 7, and he told me once that he always asks these kids, "Oops, my door. I'll be right back.
Okay.
Sorry, I'm really sorry."
Take your time, dear.
And I'm back.
Welcome back.
I think he was talking about his dad, right?
Mhm.
Okay. He always asked those kids what they liked the most in the world.
Mhm.
And he said children likes all sort of things, but none of them told me they like war, slavery, shooting others.
Yeah.
He said that those things can be learned. So me and some people telling me that there's a balance to the world just comes like such a bullshit to me. I don't think there's a balance in the world. The balance maybe once existed, but it's not here anymore. I think those corruption in society is just fuck things up. If you had a power to stop those corruption, if you had a power to make a better world for everybody,
Mhm.
would you use it? Would you make that decision for everybody?
It depends on the cost. I
What kind of
think.
cost you would be not willing to pay?
Like, for instance, I mean, what if this power that you speak of, you would unleash it on the world and it would bring world peace because it would literally kill everyone who ever did a bad thing. Or it would bring peace because there would be one tyrant that no one could go against. Or people would not have free choice anymore. I think that's the most important thing. Like, ultimately, I won't say it's in our nature, but I think you will never establish something like world peace or it's a good ideal to fight for, but realistically we will never succeed because,
Realistically, it's painful.
well, it's more that, like I said earlier, my version
Hmm.
of a perfect world is even different from your version of a perfect world, or the people who are sitting over there, their version. Like, everyone has a different view on what a perfect world is. And ultimately, the only way that you can force for everyone to have that same picture of the perfect world and to strive for that is total domination, is that people won't have free choice anymore. As soon as you bring free choice back in, people will start to protest because they don't agree with your ideals or with whoever's ideals are being used. I think such a power like that should not be. I think each and every one of us should strive to make the world a better place, but ultimately we will never succeed. That may be a little bit of a bleak way to see it, but I think that's a good way as well. Because who says that my ideals are perfect? Who says that everyone would enjoy their lives if we would follow my way?
Think this way. Maybe this may sound a bit fascist, but I like this argument. I like to play contrary sometimes. Have you lost someone?
I mean, no one real close to me yet,
Okay.
but I've lost people. Yeah.
Imagine those people could have been survived. There was order. There's some guy who made a rule, And thanks to him, life was better. Or thanks to her. Someone made a decision without asking anybody, and now life is better now. What would you still try to choose free will? Not saying that I choose one or two of these options or one of them. Just asking, trying to know you or trying to gather information for myself.
You're making me curious as to why, but would I still do that? I think that's a question that I cannot answer
Okay,
because I've not been in that situation. I'm sure if I would lose someone very dear to me, that I would be angry and I would want things to change. Right now, I would say no, that should not change because free will is too important. It's what's been fought for over and over again throughout our history. People have sacrificed themselves and others to be able to keep free will.
he nods. So, because of we have free will, do you think we will be always be guilty of war and peace?
We will
Okay,
always be guilty of conflict, whatever form that may take. Yes.
thank you. You said I were wondering why I asked these questions
Yeah.
because you're interesting.
I mean,
Interesting conversations makes you more interesting.
thank you.
No problem. Like playing games?
Depends on the kind of game. I've never been a big fan of Russian roulette.
Yeah, me too. I think we played this game. Oh, see, I don't remember if they did. The question game. You ask a question, I ask a question. We can't say you. We can't ask the same question.
I don't know if we did that either. So,
Yeah,
yeah, sure.
it's up to you. Ladies, go first, please.
Um,
Oh, there are rules though, which I forget to
oh,
tell. You can't lie, which is
hmm
the worst rule ever because everybody lies. And secondly, we can't say you, which means if I ask you a question, let's say, do you like my shoes today? I can't ask you the same question.
hmm
I can't ask you, do you like my shoes today? Unless we both agree that you can ask that question.
Okay.
If there's any rules, third rule, if there's any rule that you don't want to answer regarding, because this is kind of aligned with the first rule, we don't need to lie. We can just say, I don't want to answer the question.
Okay. Poof. Um,
Hard game or boring one?
hard game, I think.
Thank you.
Mm, what's your favorite food? Starting with something simple.
My favorite food is French fries.
Cool.
What is your favorite drink other than coffee?
Ugh, other than coffee. Wow. Coffee.
Other than coffee.
More
More.
coffee. No,
This jinx.
um, other than coffee. Honestly, I just like water.
I can't invite you to drink water.
Ah, I mean, smoothies?
I will try smoothies next time. Your turn.
mm, Do you like where you live?
I do. I recently moved from Staten to Brooklyn. The Brooklyn, it's close to the Brighton Beach. I love my house.
Hmm.
It's kind of old system, but I love it. I think they call it the English system.
Nice.
All in one. Very enjoyed the. Sadly, the only problem is we can't have big dogs. It's my turn. Hmm. What do you like the most regarding New York?
What do I like the most regarding New York? Hmm, tough one. There are many things I like about New York.
If you want, I can change the question, which is maybe an easier one.
Nope, nope, nope. I think what I like most about New York is that you have everything here. And I don't just mean shop wise, I mean a way of mentality of the people. You know, you can see the worst and the best of people here in New York.
Not
Mm, if you would have to choose a different profession, what would you be?
teacher, without a doubt. What teacher? History.
Nice.
People should know their real history.
Hmm.
My turn. Hmm. Hmm. Do you have any nicknames?
um, I do obviously have nicknames.
Okay.
Now I take it you want to hear them as well.
It's up to you to share.
I mean, it's okay. People call me Bird or worse, Baby Bird.
Why?
My cousin. He he's a few years older, and Robin is a bird, so he calls me Baby Bird.
He nods.
Mm, what is the most important thing in the world for you?
My freedom.
Hmm.
It felt very good to have sun on your skin and smell of favorite free fruits. Being able to look at the people like you're equal to them. Yeah, I believe it's my turn.
I believe so too.
What are you looking forward to that's happening very soon?
Mm, gee, I think finding my own apartment.
He nods.
Mm, for what would you come out of bed at night?
Roll me perception empathy.
Oh boy. I actually need to go to my computer. Perception, empathy. Mm, oh wait, that's off my sheet. I need to go to Robin's. Sorry. I have one die less because. Oh come on, computer, don't be. Perception. Oh,
You're in the extra dice roller one, just so you know.
okay. Perception, empathy, minus one die. Dice roller one. Two successes.
He was about to say like something, but he didn't. Hmm. Let me think more.
Did say no lies.
He did. I wasn't going to lie. I was just going to give you a different answer.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you want to hear the first one? It's up to you. I mean,
I'm curious as to the other answer, but I'm also curious as to the first.
mm, maybe let me give you the second answer first, and if you're still curious after the game ends, I can give you the first
Okay.
answer.
Cool.
The NED call. If someone needs me for them to be there, I will be there.
Mm-hmm.
That's an easy way to get me up.
Okay.
What is your bucket list?
What is my?
Bucket list. The thing that you want to do before the
Oh,
world ends.
I've never really thought about that.
Good to make you thought about that as well then.
What would I want to do before? I really don't know.
Your turn.
What was the answer that you were actually going to give me?
Ready to lose a couple hours with you.
Wow.
I know I shouldn't have said it.
It's fine. I feel flattered.
Good to know. I have the best. I like this game, so I usually create good questions. I don't know, would you like them good, but what has been the most significant plot twist in your life?
Plot twist.
Yes.
Quitting school. And Damush, if you want to, you can peony this.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, we're
I
also
have
to
one.
show.
But I will roll that subterfuge. So fast, so quick.
Manipulation, subterfuge. Two.
She passes.
Mm-hmm. It wasn't necessarily a lie. It's just that
Mhm.
quitting her studies was euphemism for something
Yeah.
way worse.
Mm, your turn.
mm, what do you regret most?
I regret that I couldn't tell my friend how I really feel before she died.
Hmm.
My biggest regret is that I actually told those stuff to her grave and not to her face.
Probably not.
What are the top three social situations that you try to avoid the most?
Social situations I try to avoid the most.
Hmm.
Standing in line.
Too impatient. That's me, by
Mm,
the way. That's me, by the way. I am impatient. I don't like waiting in lines as well.
it's not to do with being impatient. It's to do with um, time efficiency.
That's what I called as well.
um, being forced. Nah, that's not a social situation. Scratch that. Mm, having to listen to someone that I really disagree with or disrespect. I guess that will count as a social situation.
He nods.
Mm, pointless arguments. Mm,
He nods to the second one as well.
that was the third one.
Oh yeah, that was the third one. Okay. Your turn.
Mush question. How obvious does William look tired?
Mm, a lot.
Okay.
He hides it, but it's obvious.
What kept you up last night?
Nightmares.
Sorry to hear.
He nods. So, if you, if I asked that if you unexpectedly won $10,000, what would you spend on? Would your answer be coffee? And yes, that's my question.
No.
Okay, your turn.
Mm, do you have nightmares often?
These days, yes. Not usually.
I see.
The cheesy song you love the most.
Cheesy song. Call me maybe. I know the whole world hates it. I still like it.
I don't hate it. Hate is a strong word for me.
Dislike then.
Mm, well, after two beers, I like to sing it. After two beers, though.
Only two.
Only two, yeah.
Mm, what's your favorite season?
Spring.
Hmm,
Want to hear why?
sh- sure.
It's because you can wear a leather jacket and a t-shirt and jeans very easily,
Hmm.
and it's not amazingly, it's not very hot or it's not very cold, and there's not a lot of rain.
Hmm.
So yeah,
Hmm.
that's. I don't like when it's too hot. I don't like when it's too cold.
Fair
It's
enough.
sadly it's a vanilla answer, but well.
No, it's not.
What do you never get tired of?
Coffee.
I should have guessed.
Um, what's the one thing you won't leave the house without, I should say. So what do you always
Without.
take with you? Yeah.
Mm, he thinks because there's like multiple things that he always takes. My phone, my wallet.
Those are obvious things. Then again, I didn't ask you to specify.
Maybe
So,
didn't specify, but well, mm, there's things I carry for protection.
really?
Yeah. Haven't you seen the Zeppelin?
I don't think there's much that can protect you from a zeppelin.
Well, yes and no.
Hey, lieverd.
My man Jesse.
Ja,
Mm,
dip cigarettes in. So I won't set anything on fire.
what's getting worse as you get older, and what's getting better as you get older?
Oof. I'm not that old yet. I don't know.
Okay.
What's getting. Now let me attempt to answer this question. What's getting worse when you get older? Mm, demands of society. And what gets better? Responsibility for yourself. The ability to make your own choices.
He approves. Whenever I approves, he's like, he's nodding. She gives one of those good answers.
Mm, Ooh. What's your guilty pleasure? Like a TV show or a song or a band or, you know, candy at midnight, something like that.
Hmm. Charlie Puth. We Don't Talk Anymore and Attention is a couple songs I really like.
Cool.
I think you're. Would you mind we ask our last questions? Because,
Yeah, it's starting to get harder.
okay. What's your favorite thing to do indoors?
My favorite thing to do. Right now, my favorite thing to do is um I think like this. I like just being able to kick back for a moment with a cup of coffee and, good company and just relax.
He nods. That may be the last question, or if you wish to ask one last question, it's up to you.
Mm, I mean, I started, so this is a good place to end, I'd say.
He nods. I got 10 million more questions to ask next time. I hope you enjoyed this.
Definitely. How did I do?
In the game, you were perfect.
Hmm. A plus?
A plus and, stars and a couple things you add. I think it's stars, hearts, those kind of stuff.
Terrible.
What can I say? It's just, I'm always getting stars and other things at school.
Ah, I've tried that. I don't like it very much, the stars thing.
I need to return to my house. My house actually. There's a guy who's gonna arrive for fixing the fridge.
Oh boy, good luck.
Yeah, thank you. It was a pleasure to actually drink this coffee with you and play this asking question game.
Hmm. Likewise, likewise.
Hopefully, we'll see each other again soon.
I'll see you later. Yep, Robin will get up and
He will get up as well, and before like she leaves, he'll say like, "Would you like me to drop you anywhere?"
no, it's fine. I need to go. Uh I just grabbed the next subway.
Okay, no pressure. He nods to her. I think she is like leaving as fast as she can, or
I
normally.
mean, not as fast as you can, just, average speed,
Okay, I guess that will be the moment we end our scene.
Uh-huh.
Thank you, players, for playing. Thank you, guys, for watching. See you next time.